Washington, the site of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. The 16 to 18-year-olds, this battle pitting the North Washington State champions Moses Lake River Dogs against the Southwest Regional champions Mid-County, Texas. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring the coverage. James Crenshaw in the truck. Crew provided by iFiber, the camera crew, and we thank them for getting ready to bear the elements, to brave the heat, the haze, the smoke, to bring you some baseball that eventually will lead to a champion crowned in Babe Ruth baseball. That happens a week from today. A couple of games already under our belts. It was a victory in the opening matchup between the Ohio Valley champion and the Pacific Southwest champion as you get an up-close look at some of the gentlemen from Mid-County, Texas getting ready to play baseball. Ohio Valley's champion, that being Blue Lick, Kentucky, a winner over the Pacific Southwest champ, that being Tucson, Arizona, by a final of 12-4 in the game that just wrapped up. Cape Cod, representing the New England region, knocking off Surrey County, North Carolina, representing the Southeast, by a final of 6-1. And now we are set for the matchup between the North Washington State champions and Southwest Regional champion Mid-County, Texas. And you've got to think of Mid-County, Texas as at least one of the favorites in the World Series by virtue of the fact that they knocked off the Alabama Raw Dogs in the region championship and did it handily. It was a 17-3 final score. When you knock off the defending World Series champions, who, by the way, have made it kind of a recent history to win World Series titles, when you've knocked them off, then automatically you're considered a favorite. But Moses Lake will try to set down Mid-County, Texas as we get this one underway. Moses Lake, despite the fact they are basically a home team, wrapped ashort by Emmett Tatum. And the throw over to first goes 6-3 as Tatum is quickly out number one. Moses Lake has Emmett Tatum, the second baseman, batting leadoff. He wrapped into the 6-3. Cody Alvarado is the shortstop in the 2 spot. Dominique Signorelli is playing third, batting third. Evan McLean is the pitcher, batting in the 4 spot. Caleb Juarez, the EP, will bat 5th. Seth Alvarado is the catcher, batting in the 2 spot. I'll make that the 6 spot. Josh Williams playing right field will bat 7th. Ax Lindgren is the first baseman, batting 8th. Dalton Kentner in left field will bat 9th. And Jeff Sonneman is the center fielder who will bat 10th. As I've mentioned in previous games, you've got the option as a coach as to whether you will bat 9 or bat 10. We have now seen a total of 6 teams, and 5 of the 6 have used 10 men offensively. The lone exception was Cape Cod, which batted 9. Wrapped over towards third. Badon's got it, whips it to first, and Alvarado a 5-3 put up. Getting the defense set for Mid-County, Texas, Brandon Morris on the hill behind the plate. Case Babino. At first you'll find Chase Kemp. The second baseman is Logan Lazjune. Shortstop, Zach Freeze. And at third, Burke Badon. In the outfield, Jacob Vaughn in left. For center fielder is Cody Cobb. And you've got Marcus Foreman in right. 2 gone, nobody aboard. Dominique Signorelli steps in. Evan McLean to the on-deck circle. The haze and smoke beginning to clear, and that means temperatures beginning to rise here in Ephrata. Temperatures supposed to hit the triple digits. They did not hit triple digits yesterday, but that was because of smoke and haze. As a matter of fact, about 10 degrees cooler. This morning we have the smoke and the haze, thinking that's going to keep temperatures down, but right now the temperature is beginning to climb as the haze and smoke goes away. Into the strike zone, 3-1 on Signorelli. Evan McLean moving to the on-deck circle. There's a good look at Brandon Morris on the hill. Outside, and after a couple of quick outs, Signorelli given a walk to first. So the River Dogs with a base runner aboard. You're beginning to hear some of that wind too blow into our field mic. For the better part of the day, it's been blowing out. The exception was the latter stages of the game that just wrapped up. It began to blow into the face of the hitter and continuing to do so here into the 3rd game of the day. 2-0 0-1 pitch. McLean awaits. Right-hander facing the right-handed deliverer. That is Morse. Into the strike zone. Quickly 0-2. Pool play today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 4 games each day. Typically games at 11 and then again at 2, 5, and 8. There's a strikeout. Today a little different though, to accommodate the opening ceremonies. 4 go up, 3 go down, 1 gets a walk, he stays aboard. We have played a half inning. And we're going to the bottom part of inning number 1. You are watching the Babe Ruth World Series on Jock Jive.
Sure, Trustology is about sharing our financial expertise and helping our clients succeed. But it's also about helping local families enjoy a more festive holiday season, making sure parents have the supplies they need, and giving local charities everything they can grab in 90 seconds. It's employees who have a passion for serving their neighbors and the communities they live in. When you see Washington Trust's crew in blue doing their thing, that's Trustology in action. See more at watrustology.com.
Top part of the inning goes quickly. 6-3 put out of Tatum, 5-3 put out of Alvarado. Signorelli gets a walk but stays on as McLean strikes out. And here we go to the Mid-County, Texas, bottom part of the first. Cody Cobb to start things off. Logan Lasjun will bat in the 2 spot. Of course, the center fielder Cobb, the start offensively for Mid-County. And then Lasjun is the second baseman batting second. Chase Kemp, first baseman, batting in the 3 spot. Zach Freeze playing short, bats 4th. Mert Badon is the third baseman in the 5 spot. Connor McGrath, the extra player, will bat 6th. Brandon Morse is the pitcher batting in the 7 spot. Marcus Foreman playing right, bats 8th. Case Babino playing behind the plate will hit 9th. And Jacob Vaughn in left field hitting 10th for Mid-County. High with the opening pitch to Cobb. Evan McLean getting the starting nod on the hill for Moses Lake. Seth Alvarado is behind the plate at first. Dax Lindgren, the second baseman, Emmett Tatum. Cody Alvarado at short. The third baseman, Dominic Signorelli. Outfield has Dalton Kittner in left. Center field, Jeff Sonneman. Right field, Josh Williams. Top part of the inning, 4 up, 3 down. We're in the bottom part. Texas batting. And a strike is delivered after 3 outside of the strike zone. Cobb, Lasjun, and Kemp. Well, how warm is it here in Ephrata? Fouled out of play. And now the count full. Well, currently it, by the way, started at 87 earlier today, but is getting closer to the mid-90s and beyond. 95 to be exact. Sunshine, no mention of rain. As a matter of fact, there is not a speck of rain expected to fall during the course of the World Series. Tomorrow's high 98, 99 on Monday, and then 101 Tuesday through Friday. Out of the strike zone, a leadoff walk to Cobb. And Texas has got a base runner aboard for Logan Lasjun. Chase Kemp moving to the on-deck circle. Both teams relatively similar decor. Both decked out in the white. Got a little aqua splashed in with the black for the River Dogs, and it's a little bit of gold tossed in with the black on Mid-County. 0-1 on Las June. South-southeast winds at 8, wrapped towards third. Signorelli's got it over to first. Got Las June on the 5-3 put out. It acts as a sacrifice, though. Not scored as one, but acts as one as Cobb goes to second. Chase Kemp coming to the plate. 14% humidity. We are from the deep south, and I don't think it's ever been 14% humidity. August, it's typically 50, 60 plus. 80's not that uncommon. As a matter of fact, I did some games, I think it was on Tuesday in Monroe, Louisiana, and the humidity when the day started was 87%. It is 14% here in Ephrata. Socked in the direction of center field. That will drop in as a Chase Kemp base hit. Cobb rounding third, coming home. He scores. It's a 1-0 Mid-County Texas lead. And for the first time in the World Series, we've got a run in the first inning. And there's the gentleman that did it, Cobb. Gave a quick look and then looked at Coach, and Coach says, kick it in, head home. And that's exactly what Cobb did. One ball, no strikes on Zach Freeze. Burke Baydon has moved to the on-deck circle. Visibility 7 miles, UV index 3. Sun sets at 8:25 this evening. Countyman's up 1 apiece, fouled off by Freeze. One ball, 1 strike. Socked in the direction of center field. Jeff Sonneman there to make the catch, and trotting back to first is Kemp. Two outs, Burke Baydon coming to the plate. Well, as anticipated, you get your Moses Lake squad, and then, of course, a little bit later on at 8 o'clock this evening, Ephrata, Washington. And when you've got the home teams playing, you have the size of the crowd grow a little bit. To be understood, you got a team out of Texas. Don't know how many miles away that is. I'm going to guess at about 1,200 maybe. Over to first, and safely back goes Kemp. So the Johnson O'Brien Stadium crowd growing from Moses Lake, but in Texas. Got a feeling the crowd has picked up substantially on the Ephrata World Series 2017.com and the Jock Jive and the Babe Ruth Facebook live sites. Here's the 0-2, popped up. And the catch made over behind the bag at first. It was the second baseman, Emmett Tatum, that comes over to make the catch. And 1 run will plate. 1 will stay on, 3 will go down. We've played an inning. And Texas with a 1-0 advantage. We are back with more World Series here on ChalkJive.com from Ephrata.
Ephrata is strategically located in the center of Washington State. The Port of Ephrata can meet your intermodal transportation and supply chain needs via road, rail, or air. Our most recently available property are 2 buildings that combine for 100,000 square feet of high bay heavy manufacturing space with multiple bridge cranes installed. When the workday is over, take advantage of the plentiful recreation opportunities in the area. Bring your business back to center in Ephrata, a center for commerce, a center for opportunity, and a centered life.
For more than 50 years, Tomer Construction has been helping build the Pacific Northwest. We've led successful projects throughout the area involving portable rock crushing, road construction, land clearing, land leveling, bridge construction, and structural concrete. We also offer fill material, sand, and gravel for your everyday landscape needs. For a free quote, call today, 509-787-3312. Tomer Construction, we're ready to serve you.
Way into the second, Caleb Juarez starting things off. The EPs, Seth Alvarado, Josh Williams due up in the inning too. Texas with a 1-0 advantage. Juarez, the EP. Well, the EP has been pretty effective today. You go to the opening game. For Blue Lick, the extra hitter or player. 3 for 3. For Tucson, 1 for 3. The exception would be for Surrey County, North Carolina, but all of them struggled, as you had the one hitter by Jake Morris. So when you've had one hit total, then everybody top to bottom struggling. But the extra player, the extra hitter overall, has been a productive spot today, and it's productive again. Caleb Juarez with a base hit into center field. And Moses Lake with a base runner on here in the top part of the second. Seth Alvarado. Right-hander steps in with a base runner aboard, tying run on for Moses Lake. 1-0 contest. Texas got a leadoff walk. Cobb throw to first. Diving back in safely is Juarez. That's June wrapped into the 5-3 that got Cobb to second. Kemp with the RBI single. Drives in Cobb, and then Freeze and Baydon with flyouts. Big cut, no contact, as the count goes even at 1. Morris with a look over to first. And now you got time asked for by Alvarado. Morris will carry through with his motion, but the timeout is asked for and granted. Your officiating crew behind the plate: Jim Burns, Ricky Bryan is at first, Jeremy Cranston at third. Here's the 1-1 offering. It is swung on and missed, and out goes Alvarado. One away here in the second. Josh Williams with a base runner aboard. A lot of baseball going on in the world of Major League Baseball today. Some of the games already wrapped up, some games in progress, and then some games a little bit later on. Safely back is Juarez at first. Taking a look at your games that are currently in progress. Brewers with a 1-zip lead over the Rays. That's in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 3rd, Tigers lead the Orioles 2-zip, no score after 1. Padres and Pirates. Bottom of the 2nd, Red Sox with a 4-1 lead over the White Sox. Yankees and Indians tied at 1. Top of the 3rd, no score, Marlins and Braves. Bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of the 2nd, Reds with a 1-zip lead over the Cards. Blue Jays and Astros tied at 2. That's in the top of the 3rd. Here are your finals. Cubs beat the Nationals 7-4. Dodgers defeat the Mets by the same score. The Mariners-Royals game postponed. Time asked again by Williams. And then your games later tonight: Twins, Rangers, Rockies, Phillies, Giants, Diamondbacks, and Athletics and Angels. No balls, couple of strikes. Josh Williams got Juarez edging towards second, over at first. Morris with his back turned to the runner, throw to first, and that's got him. Got way off the bag, and Papino throws down and gets him. And now 2 away. Boy, he was a long way off the bag to turn around and come back. Dives into the Kemp tag. Absolutely no doubt about it. Josh Williams That is the first time, maybe, I don't know if I'll say ever, but it's first time in a long time that you've seen a first baseman have to wait on the runner to get back to the bag to tag him out. That was a huge lead. So the leadoff single nullified by the pickoff at first. Josh Williams trying to get aboard with 2 gone here in the top part of the second. Dax Lindgren moving to the on-deck circle. 2-2 toss, swung on and missed. Despite the leadoff base hit, turns into a 3-up, 3-down inning as Juarez is picked off at first. 1.5 in, we go to the bottom part of the inning. McGrath, Morrison, Foreman, all coming up for Texas.
Sure, Trustology is about sharing our financial expertise and helping our clients succeed. But it's also about helping local families enjoy a more festive holiday season, making sure parents have the supplies they need, and giving local charities everything they can grab in 90 seconds. It's employees who have a passion for serving their neighbors and the communities they live in. When you see Washington Trust's crew in blue doing their thing, that's Trustology in action. See more at Trustology.
Bottom of the second, Connor McGrath starting things off. The EP for Texas, Brandon Morris, Marcus Foreman, 2 up in the inning, 2. A base runner gets on to lead off the second for the Moses Lake River Dogs, but Juarez picked off over at first, then Alvarado and Williams struck out. Lifted high into the air towards right, backing onto the grass. Emmett Tatum at second. He will make the catch, and there's 1 gone. Well, we've done a lot of tournaments, a lot of World Series where lengthy games have been the norm of the day. Let's hope that this is a World Series where maybe not so long games. Got off to a 2-hour, 10-minute start with the opening game, 1:39 with game number 2. And in this one, we are about 20-some-odd minutes in and into the bottom part of the second. Foul off over towards first and a bit beyond. Count evens up 1 apiece on Morris. And when we get to the top of the third and the fourth, we're going to be taking your shout outs, and there'll be a number posted above the scoreboard. That number will be 334-488-1385, 334-488-1385. Hit towards center field. And there the catch is made by Jeff Sonneman. Brandon Morris out number 2. Two gone for Marcus Foreman. But as I mentioned, when we get to the third and fourth, on the scoreboard will be a shout out number 334-488-1385. You can jot it down, but it'll be there for you come the third and fourth innings. And we're going to be taking your shout outs. We'll tell you more about how you shout out, the process. Ripped over towards short. Alvarado will field fire, get Foreman on the 6-3. Well, that didn't take long. Top part of the inning, 3 up, 3 down. Same thing for the bottom part. Still scoreless going to the third here on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. There's that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State.
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Top of the third, near the bottom of the order, Dax Lindgren to start things off for Moses Lake. Dalton Kittner and Jeff Sonneman due up in the inning two. Nearly identical. 0-1-0, 1-1-0. Lone difference, that one-run plating in the first for Texas. And they've got a one-zip lead as we head into the third. Dax Lindgren to start things off. Well, I told you that we would start taking shout-outs in the third and fourth inning. And, you know, we've been here now 3 out of 4 years, and a lot of the folks that watch the coverage know the process, but these are two teams that may not. I don't think we've seen either in the 2 previous years. So here's what we do with the shout-outs. The number posted on the scoreboard will be 334-488-1385. And here's what we're looking for in the shout-out. You got to cheer on a team or a team member. Then we'd like to know where you're watching from. What part of the country, what part of the United States, the world. And if it's a unique spot, and it's a unique spot we can talk about as Lindgren is walked. Stick that on there too. And you know, I was talking with Dan Proto, the head coach at Cape Cod, and he said last year they had this huge TV, kind of an inflatable screen, and we're watching the game there. If you've got stuff like that going on, take a picture, share it with our Facebook page, share it with our Twitter, or you can text it to us. If it's Facebook, Jock Jive Sports. If it is Twitter, @JockJive. And if it's texting, you got the number there above the scoreboard. 334-488-1385. Dalton Kittner with a base runner on. Tying run on for the River Dogs here in the top of the third. But in foul back towards the screen. Nothing in 2 on Kittner. Well, it has turned into a gorgeous afternoon. I think it will be a gorgeous night before it's all done and over with. Weather delays in the past, but don't think that's going to happen here. You know, it seems like in the 2 previous years. As there's a swing and a miss, and Kittner goes out. Throw to first, able to get back safely is Lindgren. Jeff Sonneman coming to the plate. But again, in years gone by, there's been at least one day where something just kind of rips through Johnson O'Brien Stadium. And according to forecasters, not this year. Up the middle, Jeff Sonneman with a base hit. That is the second base hit of the game for the River Dogs. And a couple of base runners aboard as we go back to the top of the order for Moses Lake. Shout out to the Mid-County team. Have the whole family together watching number 14 in Nederland, Texas. Go team. Well, thank you very much for the shout out. See, that's how you do it. Shout out to a team. Let us know where you're watching from. Emmett Tatum wrapped into a 6-3 in the first. Batting here in the third, Cody Alvarado moving to the on-deck circle. 334-488-1385. There's another base hit. Back-to-back base hits, and that one's got Lindgren on his way to the plate. The throw not in time. We are tied at 1. So Tatum delivering with an RBI single that brings in Lindgren. Sonneman winds up at third, Tatum at first. Cody Alvarado moving from the on-deck circle to the box. Well, even if fielded cleanly by Babino, likely doesn't get Dax Lindgren. And we're tied up at 1 each. Swing and a miss by Alvarado. Dominique Signorelli moving to the on-deck circle. Shout out to number 17 pitching for Texas. I like the number. From number 17, Slate Robinson, who plays for Blue Lick. Well, that's right. Slate Robinson, a walk, a double, a pop out, a single. He went 2 for 3 with an RBI. Actually, 3 RBIs, a bases clearing double. And a couple of runs plated. So 117, taking note of the other. Asking for time is Alvarado before the delivery from number 17, Brandon Morse. Just before. Right there, he asked for it. And Cody Alvarado, more than asking for the timeout, he wants to throw off the rhythm of Brandon Morse. Get into the head of the pitcher. Couple of base runners on, including the go-ahead run here in the top of the third for Moses Lake. Over to first goes the throw, and Tatum will get back safely. Teresa and Mickey Finn with Nana and Poppy Wood saying go Mid-County, Texas from our patio in Nederland, Texas. And thanks for the selfie as the throw goes into left field, designed to pick off Sonneman. Instead, Sonneman up, he scores. Meanwhile, to second goes Tatum. It's a 2-1 Moses Lake lead. Well, I'm getting a phone call, not a text, but what makes the phone call very interesting, and I wish that we could talk, but got game coverage, is that the, you know, where it typically has a name? Well, under the number it says Japan. So maybe somebody from Japan watching the coverage. And again, would love to talk, but got a little baseball to cover. But if you'll text us, we will certainly read those shout-outs. And now a 2-1 contest. Cody Alvarado wrapped into the 5-3 in the first, batting here in the third. But again, to the folks watching on the patio there in Nederland, Texas, I like it. Got a picture of the game coverage going on. That's the stuff we like to see. And we'll get it on Facebook a little bit later on. If you want to do the same, share it at Jock Jive Sports. If we do it, it might be 1 or 2 tomorrow morning. If you do it, it'll be up instantaneously. Count full, 3-2. Alvarado trying to poke it over into right. Tatum trotting back to second. He's the only base runner in. 2 have come in and scored for Moses Lake. Shout out to Hayes and Robinson. Keep doing good. Phi Alpha from Texas. Good luck, Dominique Signorelli. And Moses Lake River Dogs from Trey Signorelli and family in Crowley, Louisiana. Walk issued to Alvarado. So a couple of base runners on for Dominique. Dominique Signorelli with Alvarado at first, Tatum the base runner at second. Shout out to all our hometown boys. Y'all show them how we play Texas style. We're all proud of you. Sean and Brandy Broussard watching in Nederland. Go Mid-County from Sean Broussard Sr. Dominique Signorelli walked in the first. The lone base runner that got aboard in the first inning. Stranded at first after McLean struck out. High with the pitch to Signorelli. Tatum and Alvarado on. Lindgren and Sonneman have scored. And Moses Lake grabbing a 2-1 lead here in the top of the third. Well, with base runners aboard, Brandon Moore certainly works slower than without base runners. Throws this one into center field. Tatum will hop up, go to third. The throw not in time, winds up over near the dugout. And that throw will allow Alvarado to get to second. So Morris way off the mark. And it's a play that turns into 2 errors. You got the throw by Morris, which is the first error. And then you got the throw from the center fielder right there. That's error number 2. So an E1 as well as an E8. And a couple of base runners now in scoring position for Dominic Signorelli. Evan McLean moving to the on-deck circle. Well, you wonder if nerves play a role. It's, as we mentioned, hit to second and got the out there. Signorelli got it quickly to Lejeune on the liner. And Lejeune going to freeze to turn the double play. But it is a productive top part of the third. A couple of runs come in and score. Lindgren and Sonoman. We head to the bottom of the order in the bottom of the third on ChalkJive.com.
Since 1969, DK's Drive-In has been Ephrata's favorite spot for burgers, fries, sweet treats, and everything else in between. We are proud to continue the DK's tradition of serving our community with delicious food made to order. Come on in or swing through the drive-thru and see why DK's has been a staple of Ephrata for generations. DK's Drive-In at 805 Basin Street Northwest in Ephrata.
Lakeview Golf and Country Club. They're looking for new members, and now's the time to join. There's no initiation fee, and it's $175 a month. A great course, great people, and a professional that has instruction available. His name? Matt Campbell. Along with a good junior program, driving range and restaurant are available to the public. Come and try the good food with Amy Galloway and her staff, open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. Great course, great people at the Lakeview Golf and Country Club.
We enter the bottom of the order, bottom of the third. Case Babino. Now, I did get a text that says you're pronouncing Case's name wrong. Well, you certainly feel free, please do, to add a pronunciation guide. I've actually got one that was provided by the Babe Ruth officials, and it, if I'm reading it correct, says Babino, but we want to recognize these guys appropriately in the World Series, so you feel free to tag the information on that is accurate, and we will certainly correct mistakes. Not here to make, well, we're going to make plenty of them during the World Series, but not intentionally so where a name is concerned. So you feel free to get us updated on Case's name over at first as Jacob Vaughn steps in. 1 base runner aboard, a 2-1 Riverdog lead. As a couple of runs score in the top part of the third, Lindgren comes in, Sonoman does as well. Vaughn batting with the base runner at first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Cody Cobb moves to the on-deck circle. Well, let's get to shout-outs. Got a number of them over the course of the last few moments. Go Logan, watching from Port. Well, he didn't send a pronunciation guide. Is that Nietzsche's? Port Nietzsche's, Texas. And the Lejeunes. Runner goes, and Babino tagged out. Nice throw down by Alvarado. And the base runner tagged out, going to second. So 1 away, Jacob Vaughn steps back into the box, now 2-1. Go Nederland, Mid-County from Kirk Cogswell of the United States Navy in Sasebo, Japan. So that Japan phone number we had previously was indeed from Japan. And it was apparently Kirk Cogswell of the United States Navy. Pitch high to Vaughn, and Vaughn will get a walk down to first. And we appreciate our men and women of the United States Armed Forces. So thank you very much, Kirk, for the job you're doing there away from home and watching the game coverage here in Washington. Shout out to Ryan Henson of Blue Lick from the Ville Bonk Gang. And thank you very much, by the way, for the pronunciation on Nederland, Texas. Thank you very much for watching in the Lone Star State. Shout out to Jacob Vaughn playing left field for Mid-County. So proud watching in Groves, Texas. Throw over to first, and Vaughn able to get back safely. Good luck to our Mid-County boys from Corey and Casey Gidry watching in Nederland. Thank you very much. Shout out to Burke Badon from his favorite cousin in Nederland, Texas. Watching from Nederland, Texas, home of the Mid-County seniors, go Zach Freeze, Case, and all the team. I'm going to look for that pronunciation guide on Case. Case Babino. All right, or Babino. So thank you very much. Shout out to Case. Shout out to my Port Neches boys from Rannicky. And it is Babino. Got another pronunciation guide. Thank you. Shout out to Texas number 17, BMO from Big Smo. Can't even one apiece on Cobb. Cobb with a walk and a run scored in the first. He was driven in by the Chase Kemp single. It represented the first run of the game, the lone run of the game thus far for Mid-County. With one away and a base runner at first, Vaughn, and there's a throw to try to get Vaughn. Able to get back safely. Shout out to Dalton Kittner from the Palmers in Tahuya, Washington. You guys aren't intentionally giving me names I can't pronounce, can you? Are you? Lifted into right, and there the catch is made by Williams. Of course, I can stumble over Smith and Jones. Two gone. Cobb goes down. Logan Lejeune, who wrapped into the 5-3 coming to the plate. Shout out to number 4, Marcus Foreman from the Skeeters. Get the win. Got a watch party for number 3, Babino, Nederland, Texas. Good luck to my baby boy and to MC. And we like photos of those watch parties. Post them to Facebook at Jock Jive Sports or on Twitter. Runner takes off. That is Vaughn. And Lejeune hit by a pitch, so Vaughn will be at second. And Lejeune is now the base runner at first. So a couple of base runners on, tying run in scoring position. That is Vaughn. Go ahead run at first for Chase Kemp. And this is the gentleman who knocked in the first run, and thus far the only run of the game for Texas, but Mid-County threatening here in the bottom of the third. High with the pitch. Zach Freeze moves to the on-deck circle. Shout-outs in the 3rd and 4th, which means we're about halfway through, wrapped over towards Tatum at second. He will go to first and get the out of Kemp on the 4-3, leaving a couple of base runners on. A hit, a single, a walk, all in the mix in the bottom of the 3rd, but nobody scores in the home half of the inning. We head to the top of the 4th. Evan McClain, Caleb Flores, Seth Alvarado, all coming up for the River Dogs. Top of the fourth, Evan McLean starting things off. Caleb Juarez, Seth Alvarado in a 2-1 contest. Moses Lake, the North Washington State champs, with the advantage over Mid-County Texas, the Southwest Regional champions. Here on the opening day of competition, it is the third game of a 4-game day. As a matter of fact, got 4 games today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before you get into bracket play and slow the pace of games down a bit. Good luck to all the Mid-County young men from the Bertrand family watching in Nederland, Texas. Shout out to Zach Clark, Nederland, Uncle Ben watching from Pearland, Texas. Shout out to LL, Chaser, BMO, and the boys from Mid-County from Coach Roderick Robertson in Orange, Texas, saying good luck. Evan McLean, a strikeout victim in the first, batting here in the fourth. Shout out to Dalton Kittner from Mike and Tina. Go Dominique and the rest of the team. Count even 2 each. And there's a swing and a miss and a strikeout of McLean, 1 away in the fourth. Caleb Juarez coming to the plate. One away, nobody on. We're in the fourth. Seth Alvarado is on deck. Just foul over to the first base side. Caleb Juarez, who singled in the second, batting here in the fourth. Seth Alvarado. He has moved to the on-deck circle, fouled off, and the count will even up at 2 apiece. Here's the 2-2 offering, lifted high into the air, over into foul territory. Kemp will travel into foul territory, give it a look, but is out of play. And there's a strikeout of Juarez. Back-to-back Ks, McLean and Juarez, 2 gone here in the fourth. Seth Alvarado stepping into the batter's box. Josh Williams moving to the on-deck circle for Brandon Morris. He got a K in the first, he got a couple of Ks in the second. Struck out 1 in the third, and he's got 2 here in the fourth. So a total of 6 strikeouts for Brandon Morris, 2 away here in the fourth for Seth Alvarado. Here's the 1-0 offering to Seth Alvarado, the right-hander. Nice stop at third by Baydon. Over to first goes the throw, and Alvarado out on the 5-3 putout. 3 go up, 3 go down in the top part of the fourth. Nobody scores, and it's still low scoring and tight. 2-1. Advantage Moses Lake. You are watching 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on Jock Jive.
Come along now, join the fun in beautiful Grant County, Washington. Our lakes just can't be beat, our friends you'll love to meet. in beautiful Grant County, Washington. Grant County.
Call 800-992-6234 or tourgrantcounty.com. Brought to you by the Grant County Tourism Commission.
Right here in the Columbia Basin, located in Moses Lake, we've got a locally owned, operated car rental agency with a great selection of late model clean cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. They do direct billing to insurance companies when that unexpected accident happens and your car is laid up for that little moment. They're open 6 days a week with a new building and new location. 15 years of service to the Columbia Basin. Advance Rent-A-Car. Call them today, 765-390.
Bottom of the fourth, Zach Free starting things off for Mid-County, Texas, 2-1 contest. After a scoreless top part of the inning, 3 go up, 3 go down, nobody scores. Strikeouts of McLean and Morez, and Alvarado wraps into the 5-3. More shout-outs from Dominique and the rest of the team, also to Jacob Signorelli. You're doing great, Dominic Signorelli and the Moses Lake River Dogs from Blair Signorelli and family in Crowley, Louisiana. Coach Ben Rogers, we love you. Love your family in Nederland, Texas. Good luck, Cody Cobb from Ashton Broussard. Texas 5A State Championship dads watching P&G boys. David, Ronnie, Marty, Rock in Port Neches. I believe that's the correct pronunciation. Hashtag DPO. Good luck, Burke Badon from the Rocka 40s. Scoreless top part of the inning. Here we go into the bottom part. The fourth inning is, at least the mid part of it, is where the crews come out onto the field and they hand drag it just to make sure that you got those sure rolls, those sure hops on the infield throughout the course of the contest. And I think everybody has now made their pass to get all the rocks and the bumps out of the infield, and we will have Jack Free step in to begin the bottom of the fourth. Burke Badon, Connor McGrath due up in the inning too. Bottom of the fourth in a 2-1 game. 1 run plates in the bottom of the first for Mid-County, Texas. River Dogs in the top of the third score a couple of runs and take a 2-1 lead into the fourth. In towards second, Tatum will field, and he'll go to first to get Freeze on the 4-3. 1 out for Burke Badon. Connor McGrath moving to the on-deck circle. Good luck, Cody Cobb from Griffin Guidry. That one got away from Evan McClain. Was a little high with the toss. Low-scoring games, with the exception of the opener. But it was tight until you got late in the contest. It was a 12-4 final. Of course, the game that just wrapped up, 6-1, Cape Cod knocking off the North Carolina squad. This one, a 2-1 game into the bottom of the fourth. Having the zone BMO from Josh in Port Neches. Lifted towards center field. Jeff Sonneman is there, and he will make the catch for out number 2. 2 gone for Connor McGrath. Brandon Morris on deck. Evan McClain, right-hander, delivering out of the strike zone, 1-0. When you get to the 5th inning from Moses Lake, it'll be the 7, 8, and 9 spots coming to the plate. I don't know if you put any stock into, trends, but the trend thus far today has been for the visiting squad to win, as it is wrapped to short, fielded there by Alvarado. He will go to first and get McGrath on the 6-3 putout. Another quick bottom part of the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 5th. Williams, Lindgren, and Kentner when we return.
Sure, Wattrustology is about sharing our financial expertise and helping our clients succeed. But it's also about helping local families enjoy a more festive holiday season, making sure parents have the supplies they need, and giving local charities everything they can grab in 90 seconds. It's employees who have a passion for serving their neighbors and the communities they live in. When you see Washington Trust's Crew in Blue doing their thing, that's Wattrustology in action. See more at Wattrustology.
Top of the 5th, 7th spot of the order. Josh Williams leading things off for Moses Lake. Dax Lindgren. Dalton Kittner due up in the inning 2. A 2-1 Moses Lake lead. Of course, you got pool play to begin with. Everybody with an opportunity to play every one. You come out of pool play as a 1, 2, or 3 team, then you're into the bracket play that happens on Thursday. If you're a 1 squad, you get a bye and you get some extra breathing time. If you are a 2 or 3 seeded team, then you are playing on Thursday. So obviously it behooves you to play well in pool play from a number of perspectives. One of which is to get into bracket play, and then 2 of which is to have an opportunity to be at the top seed and get a little time off before heading into a Friday semifinal matchup. But on the other hand, in pool play, if you lose, you're not out of it. I mean, you lose a game and you're definitely not out of a scenario. I guess you could be out of the top spot, but you're certainly not out of the scenario of getting into bracket play. So you can have a bad game, or maybe even a bad game or 2, and still advance to play in the bracket play starting on Thursday and running into the championship on Saturday. Swing and a miss. Count even, 2 each on Josh Williams. Dax Lindgren walked and scored a run in the 3rd. He is on deck. Williams trying to hold up on the swing, could not. And that is K number 7 for Brandon Morse. By the way, when we get to the 6th inning, here's what we do in the 6th. We take your brand new Twitter follower handles and send you a little love via us, kind of a text in reverse or a shout out in reverse. So when we get to the 6th inning, we'll encourage you to become new followers of Jock Jive on Twitter, and we'll acknowledge those following. Count even at 1 on Lindgren. Dalton Kittner moving to the on-deck circle. Lifted back up against the screen. 1 and 2. We are just about an hour in. And into the top of the 5th. Game slated for 7. Both starting pitchers still on the bump. Time called to give an opportunity for Case Babineau to apparently work out some knee issues. You've seen him flexing that left knee. Apparently all right. Back behind home plate. Back into the box goes Lindgren on the bump. Morse with a pitch. And the runner, at least the would-be runner after the drop, strike 3, becomes out number 2. Well, it really wasn't ever dropped, but I think Babineau wanted to just make sure that Blue knew that that was an out. And there's 2 gone for Dalton Kittner. And the strikeouts continuing to pile up for Brandon Morse. 8 Ks now in the game for Morse. Count even, one apiece. Kittner with a strikeout in the third. Jeff Sonneman to the on-deck circle in the Texas fifth. Morse, Foreman, and Babineau found out to play again. By the way, when you saw the shot there of the tents, one of those houses a 75-inch big screen. So if you are here in Ephrata watching the coverage, or will be during the course of the week, poked over into right field, and that is a Dalton Kittner two-out single. And Moses Lake with another base runner on. But if you are here and it gets a little hot for you and you want to take a break from the sunshine, check out the tent. You can check out the game. It's there on the big screen. Of course, they've prepared here for the heat, the 100-plus degree temperatures. There is netting that blocks the sun's rays over all of the stands here. One 1-0 on Jeff Sonneman. Heather, by the way, has brought us food. It is so difficult right now to do a broadcast with a big cheeseburger and fries sitting right here. But I am resisting the temptation until the matchup between the Southwest Regional champions and the North Washington State champs wraps up. 2-0 pitch to Sonneman. Outside, 3-0. In the mix of strikeouts, 8 of them for Morse, he has put 3 walks in there. Walked Signorelli in the first, walked Lindgren, as well as Alvarado in the third. Here's the 3-0 offering to Sonneman, in danger of issuing his 4th walk of the contest. And the Morse pitch is high, and there is walk number 4, as Kittner will go to first to make that the second, and Sonneman at first. So a couple of base runners on. We go back to the top of the order. Emmett Tatum next. Tatum hit into the 6-3 in the first, singled and drove in a run in the third. And Morse now being paid a visit from his infield as well as his coach. One more game to go after opening ceremonies. This one expected to wrap up around 7 o'clock. And then the opening ceremonies will take place, recognizing all teams involved. And I'm sure some of those who have made the game possible. And maybe a little extra focus on the opening ceremonies for the Borovs, due to the fact that they say this will be the last World Series that they host here in Ephrata. Here's the 0-1 offering to Tatum. Low inside, goes to the screen. Base runners move up 1. Kittner will go to third. Sonneman, the base runner, at second. So a couple of base runners in scoring position now for Emmett Tatum, who wrapped into the 6-3 in the first, singled in the third, and scored a run. There was a swing and a miss. 1-2 now on Emmett Tatum. Cody Alvarado is hoping for an opportunity here in the 5th. Mid-County trying to get to the bottom part of the inning as quickly as possible when Morse, Foreman, and Babineau, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, will come to the plate. Here's the 2-2 offering. Hit towards short, scooped up by Freeze, over to first. And he is able to get with the sweeping tag. Kemp able to lay it on Tatum and put it in to the top of the 5th. Couple of base runners left on. 2 have been stranded through 5 innings of play for Moses Lake. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, it's a 2-1 contest on JockJive.com.
Come along now. Washington. Our lakes just can't be beat. Our friends you'll love to meet in beautiful Grant County, Washington.
Call 800-992-6234 or tourgrantcounty.com. Brought to you by the Grant County Tourism Commission.
Right here in the Columbia Basin, located in Moses Lake, we've got a locally owned, operated car rental agency with a great selection of late model clean cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. They do direct billing to insurance companies when that unexpected accident happens and your car is laid up for that little moment. They're open 6 days a week with a new building and new location. 15 years of service to the Columbia Basin. Advance Rent-A-Car. Call them today, 765-39...
Bottom of the fifth, Brandon Moore starting things off from Mid-County, Texas. Marcus Foreman, Case Babineau due up in the inning 2. In a 2-1 game, another low-scoring affair. And another game that is moving right along. Got some shout-outs. I know we said we would reserve the shout-outs for the 3rd and 4th, but heck, we want to get everybody's in. Shout-out to Cody Cobb, number 7. Go show them what some Texas baseball is like. Go Mid-County. I love you bunches. Love Cassidy. Played for Mid-County in back-to-back Babe Ruth World Series in 95 and 96. As this one is lifted to left and over to make the catch near the fence is Kentner. Morse out number 1. Watching live and rooting for these boys. Go BMO and Mid-County from Jordan in Lumberton, Texas. Shout out to Zach Freeze, Chase, BMO, Kyler, and LL from P-Rob. Go get that championship and good luck. Outside with a pitch to Marcus Freeman. I'll make that Foreman. Marcus Foreman, who wrapped into the 6-3 in the 2nd. Case Babineau. He is moving to the on-deck circle. Wrapped over towards 3rd, scooped up by Signorelli. He will go to 1st, and Foreman is out number 2. 2 gone for Case Babineau. Well, in the 6th, if you follow us on Twitter, have not previously, but do, in the 6th, we're going to acknowledge you. Little extra love and attention. Two gone, nobody aboard. Case Babineau had a single, got caught stealing 2nd in the 3rd. Jacob Vaughn moving to the on-deck circle. Well, some Twitter messages. One says, that's my brother on TV. Go number 14. High with a toss. Have I mentioned, by the way, Facebook? Got to bring that up because we're trying to get to 10,000 likes by the end of the summer. And for us, the end of the summer happens a week from today, August 12th. And we're trying to get to 10,000. We are, I think at last check, about 241 away from 10,000. So if you'll go to Facebook, put Jock Jive Sports in the search engine. Like us, and then just get right back to the game coverage. It won't take long, half minute max. And of course, we keep you updated on scores, schedules. If there are weather delays, we don't expect that here, but if there are, you get that information. Babineau given the walk, a 2-out walk. Has a base runner on for Jacob Vaughn. Vaughn walked in the 3rd. So if you would go to Facebook, put at Jock Jive Sports or put Jock Jive Sports in the search engine. And then like us and get right back to the game coverage. Help us get to 10,000 and we'll thank you in advance. 1 ball, no strikes to Jacob Vaughn. Vaughn with a walk in the 3rd. Kobe Cobb has moved to the on-deck circle. High and inside, 2-0, and now coach out to talk with his pitcher, Evan McClain. So here comes coach to converse with a gentleman who has thrown 82 to the home plate. I don't think this is to pull McLean. He's got a 1-run lead. Here in the bottom of the fifth, he's got a couple of outs. He has issued a walk, though, to Babineau. Just a pick-me-up session to maybe get Evan McLean, if he has lost his focus ever so slightly, to get him back on track. After a couple of pitches were outside of the strike zone, and then, of course, following the Babineau walk. Out of the strike zone again, 3-0. Well, I'm doing a check on Facebook. By the way, we're now 209 away from 10 grand. So we're getting there. Into the strike zone, 3-1. When you get to the 6th, Moses Lake will send their 2, 3, and 4 spots to the plate. Alvarado, Signorelli, and McLean. 3-1 pitch. Fouled off and the count runs full. Evan McLean. Now we're in the bottom of the 5th, so the two pitchers very similar in number of hitters faced. But McLean has thrown 82 pitches as compared to Mid-County's Brandon Morris, who has thrown 59. Fouled off and the runner went. Babineau will go back to the bag at first. By the way, let me say thank you very much to Sam Boroff and all the folks here with the Euphrates World Series. And one case in point, some of the stuff that they do behind the scenes that maybe a lot of folks don't realize is our center field look. We went to center field yesterday on a windy Friday, and the look was bobbing all over the place, compliments of the wind. Well, as you can see, things steady out in center field. Mother Nature just no match for Sam Boroff with a drill bit. Wrapped over towards right field by Vaughn, and there to make the catch is Josh Williams for out number 3. 4 go up, 3 go down, 1 left on. Nobody scores in the bottom of the 5th. We are going to the 6th. It's a 2-1 Moses Lake lead.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Top of the 6th, Cody Alvarado starting things off for the Moses Lake River Dogs. All of the scoring has come in the first part of the contest. There's your line score. It's low scoring. 1, 2, and 2, and 2, 4, and 0. Total of 6 base hits and 3 runs plated in this one. And all 3 runs, the 2 for the Moses Lake River Dogs and the 1 for Mid-County, came before we got to the top of the 4th inning. Midland County with a run in the 1st, River Dogs with 2 in the 3rd, and that's been it. Well, we are into the 6th, and it's time to send a little love to those who follow us on Twitter in the 6th inning, as Alvarado will wrap it right field, charging in to make the catches for me. And there's one away. So go to Twitter, put @JockJive in the search engine, and follow us in the 6th. Now you can do it anytime. Anytime during the contest, anytime you like, but if you do it in the 6th, we read your Twitter handle, which is our show of a little love for giving us a follow. And got a couple of new followers. One is at Alabama River Dogs. As this one is lifted towards the gap, it will drop in right center. Dominique Signorelli on his way towards second. He looks to third to see if he's got the green light to go there. Instead, will stop on bag number 2. So Signorelli with a 1-out double. And he will get aboard here in the 6th inning. And that will bring Evan McLean to the plate. McLean has twice struck out. Did it in the 1st, did it in the 4th. Batting here in the 6th. And Coach Jay Null. And Coach Jay Null also following this on Twitter. So thank you very much to the Alabama River Dogs, who, by the way, were the World Series champs a year ago. Or Raw Dogs, rather. Alabama Raw Dogs, and also to Coach Jay Null. But big shout out, though, to the Raw Dogs, who were the champions a year ago. And this Mid-County Texas team is the one that knocked them out of contention to defend their title. Evan McLean. Then pop out brings Caleb Suarez to the plate. Two gone, base runner at second is Signorelli. Gets his lead there, and then the pitch is out of the strike zone to Suarez. Seth Alvarado moving to the on-deck circle. We toss in a shout out. Good luck, little brother. Number 2, Zach Clark. Sister just got married today in North Carolina. Saying go Mid-County. Well, congratulations on the marriage. At Noah _ KG9 now following. Caught in a rundown is Signorelli. And he's going to be tagged out. So Signorelli at the last minute decides, you know what, this idea of stealing, not such a good one. And he will get caught in the rundown to put an end to the top of the 6th. Well, why don't we, before we head anywhere else, recognize some others that are following us. At Sammy Escagne. At Sammy ESCAGNE from Nederland. At Jay Matisse now following us. JC Matisse, thank you very much. And all the folks who are now following on Twitter. We do it in the 6th. If you follow us on Twitter in the 6th inning, then we recognize you, give you a little love by shouting out your Twitter handle. Don't forget, before the day is done, highlights, the big plays, the big diving catches. Really, it's been a first day that I guess hasn't had a substantial amount of big plays, but the big plays, the great catches in center field are the ones that come to my mind. We will have those for you a little bit later on Facebook and Twitter. And of course, as we head into the bottom of the 6th, if you follow us on Twitter in the 6th inning, we get your Twitter handle out there for you. Back onto the hill, Evan McLean. Into the box, top of the order, Cody Cobb, and Cobb popped by the pitch. Gave a look to McLean on his way to first, but I don't think there was any intent. It's a 1-run lead. That's not a comfortable advantage, and you do not want a base runner aboard if you're the Moses Lake River Dogs. Mid-County, well, they love the idea of somebody on. And Cobb goes to first as Logan Lasjun steps in. Lasjun hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Also ground into the 5-3. Bunted foul by Lejeune. Chase Kemp on deck. Well, thank you very much to @Laura CI 676 63569. Perfect Toast Team, PERFECTOS Team. Now watching us, thank you very much, or following us, well, watching too. Watching some baseball, and now following us on Twitter as it's found out a play by Lejeune. 0-2, base runner on. It's the bottom part of the 6th. 2-1 advantage. It belongs to Moses Lake. But Mid-County threatening. A 1-run lead is certainly not a lead of substance that doesn't bring a little discomfort for the team with the advantage. And Mid-County still with opportunities. They've got the 3 outs in the 6th. They've got the 3 outs in the 7th. So Mid-County by no stretch of the imagination out of this one. Down by a run here in the 6th as the wind begins to pick up a little bit and blow into the face of the hitter. Here's the 0-2 offering. McLean wrapped over towards second, and Lejeune will stick that one into right field. Throwing to third was right fielder Josh Williams. You know, if he throws to cutoff, he might have picked off Cobb. Cobb had taken the big turn at second. And you see right there, the throw goes to third, but if the throw goes to cut off Tatum, they might have had Cobb. Well, let's see if this is where Evan McLean exits. His coach comes out. And there you go. If the throw goes to second, Tatum's going to tag out Cobb. Well, we've had the ceremonial exchange of the baseball from the hands of one pitcher to the hands of another. That means McLean is done and the new guy's coming in. We'll get you some numbers when we return. 2 are on. It's a 2-1 contest, Moses Lake.
Your eyes are a window to your health. And now introducing the latest in technology for diagnosing eye disease. Ephrata Eye Care has been serving the Columbia Basin for 20 years with a friendly professional staff. They'll help you select eyewear that is right for you. Big and wide is the way to describe the selection of leading brands of eyewear. No more dilation with the new OptoMap ultra-wide field imaging. Ephrata Eye Care. Call today for your next appointment, 754-2020. Where does everyone go after the game? Where does everybody go before the game? Where does everybody go to watch the game? 12 Hawks, right in the middle of downtown Ephrata. Big screens everywhere, great food, great selection of your favorite spirits. It's where the friends meet. I'm not going to begin to describe all the items on the menu. You'll have to stop by and see for yourself. 12 Hawks, 140 West Division in downtown Ephrata.
Bottom of the 6th, Chase Kim coming to the plate. The new pitcher is on the bump, and the new pitcher is a relatively familiar face. Peter Asfalm stepping in to relieve Evan McLean. McLean working 5 innings, facing 22, no strikeouts, 3 walks issued, and 3 hits given up before exiting the contest. So we will get our last remaining tosses from Asfalm before Chase Kemp will step in. Zach Freeze, Burke Badon due up in the 6th as well. Mid-County, Texas has been behind since the top part of the 3rd, but trying to put together the runs here in the bottom of the 6th to either tie or take the lead. A little before 6 o'clock here in Ephrata, Washington. Opening ceremonies slated after this game wraps up. Officially, schedule-wise, given a 7 o'clock start. We will see if it is 7 o'clock when all the teams are recognized and all the people that are making the World Series happen. Chase Kemp, 1 for 2. He had an RBI single in the first. Wrapped into the 4-3 in the third. The only Mid-County Texas run thus far driven in by Chase Kemp. He wouldn't mind doing the same here in the 6th with a couple of base runners on. And there's the guy leadoff as far as runners go, Cody Cobb. Getting his lead at second. Over at first is Les June. Another one outside of the strike zone from Asphalt. We are in the top of the 6th, but this is the first appearance of the bump for Asphalt. So, you know, we talk about often when you get into the start of a game, especially the first game of a World Series, you got butterflies. Well, you tend to forget that when you think of the relief pitcher, but for him, it's just like a first inning. Diving catch. Did he make the catch? No. Wow. What an effort in right. Looked like Josh Williams was going to come up with a spectacular catch, but apparently somewhere right in there popped out of the mid. And it keeps the at-bat alive for Kemp, runs the count full. Zach Freeze coming to the plate next, and he'll come to the plate with the bases full. Kemp giving the walk. To third goes Cobb. Les June, the base runner, at second. That may have skimmed the back, or irregardless. Well, I continue to forget. My wife tells me irregardless is not a word. Regardless, it's outside of the strike zone. Lifted into center field. That may be deep enough, though, to score the run. It is. Zach Freeze. And that's going to score more than one, as the throw to third is an errant one. Les June will come in and score. So the free sac fly to center field brings in Cole. The error brings in Les June. And Mid-County Texas has got their first lead since the top of the third. Sac fly and an error charged. And Mid-County Texas now with the 3-2 advantage. There's a late posting of the score on the board. We, of course, tied in with the scoreboard here. So I, like you, saw the 2 for a while and thought, wait a minute, it's supposed to be another run. But now they do indeed count the Les June run as well. Lifted into foul territory from Burke Baydon. Baydon with a couple of flyouts, one to second, one to center field. Connor McGrath on deck. Chase Kemp is at second. Trying to nibble on the edges was Asphalt. Couldn't catch the strike zone. Count evens, one each. Well, now you've got a Moses Lake squad in the top part of the 7th who will not be trying to tack on insurance. They'll be trying to get this game tied up or take the lead. They will have to try to rally in the 7th now. Down by a 3-2 score in the bottom of the 6th. By the way, JockJive.com has got World Series events going on all over the country, seemingly. 3 in Alabama, got the one going on here in Washington State. Reaching out, Baydon taps it to Asphalt. He fires over to first. It's Baydon on the 1-3 putout that's got Kemp to third. And Danny Jr. Santos now following us on Twitter as we again recognize you in the 6th. And then Danny is spelled with an I versus the Y, and thank you very much, Danny, for following us on Twitter. Hit to Tatum at second. Mishandled a bit, and the throw over, not in time. Kent will come in and score, and another error has resulted in another run and another runner. And Mid-County, Texas now with a 4-2 advantage. Brandon Morris with a couple of flyouts. And all of a sudden, Texas taking the lead here in the bottom of the 6th and putting some pressure on the Moses Lake River Dogs in the top part of the 7th when Juarez, Alvarado, and Williams will come to the plate. Still 2 gone. Base runner is McGrath at first. Morris will fly it out of play. He is 0 for 2, is flown out to center and left. Hit a deep shot to left field in the 5th. Then Dalton Kittner had to back up to the wall to make the catch. Low with the pitch, 2-1. Well, we're about to wrap up the 6th. You want to get that follow in that gets you a little extra attention. Got about an out to do it. Watching Mid-County in the World Series, thanks to us. Well, thank you, as that one is wrapped to right field, and it's there at first in time to get Morse. The putout will go. It's one of those unusual 9-3 putouts. That is a rocket of a Josh Williams arm. And gets him by a step or 2. That really, from baseball standards, wasn't that close at first. We head to the 7th. 4-2 lead, Mid-County, Texas.
Golfers, challenge yourself this season at Gamble Sands in Brewster, Washington, just 33 miles from Lake Chelan. Hi, Kevin Calabro here. You know, every Gamble Sands round is a fabulous bucket list experience. Gamble Sands was designed by David McClay Kidd, author of The Bandon Dunes. Go to gamblesands.com and take a look at this place. You'll see why Golf Digest and Golf Magazine recognize Gamble Sands as the best new course of 2014. Certainly is mine. Make your tee times now at gamblesands.com.
Top of the 7th, Caleb Juarez starting things off. Seth Alvarado, Josh Williams due up in the inning 2 at Slate_Robinson. Now following us on Twitter. Thank you very much, Slate, for the follow. 4-2 contest. Mid-County waits until the bottom of the 6th to plate 3 runs, take the lead, and now have forced Moses Lake to plate runs in the top part of the 7th. Juarez 1 for 2 has singled and struck out. Here's the 0-2 offering. Outside, 1-2. A few more shout outs. Good luck, Cody Cobb from Meemaw. Rally time, Mid-County from Port Neches. They did indeed rally in the bottom of the 6th. Keep working, boys. So proud y'all are representing Mid-County. Love Brandy Broussard. Here's the 2-2 offering. Juarez swing, miss, dropped, picked up by Babineau, goes over to first and gets Juarez rather, on the putout. That is in reality a K, but got the 2-3 just to make sure it's a K. 1 out for Seth Alvarado. Alvarado was struck out and ground out. He's 0 for 2. Josh Williams moving to the on-deck circle. Mid-County wins up 1 apiece. Here's the 1-1 offering. Missing inside. 2-1. Moses Lake down to the last couple of outs. Got a couple of runs in the third. 5 hits total. Low scoring, low hit game. 5 for Moses Lake. They've actually out hit Mid-County. Mid-County with a total of 3 base hits. Both teams committing a pair of errors. And both teams leaving the relatively same number of runners aboard. 4 for Moses Lake, 5 for Mid-County, Texas. So that's an indication of a close game. Brandon Morse, this pitch will be his 100th as it is fouled off. If you look at the pitch count rules, 105 is the max allowed by a pitcher on a given day. So Morse doesn't have a lot of time left as the walk is issued. Now, there are different leagues that have different rules. In some leagues, when you hit that mark, whatever that max is, 105 in Babe Ruth, but when you hit it, that's it. I mean, you don't pitch again. You don't toss another one. There are some that allow you to finish the at-bat. Looking at the rules that were handed to me in regards to the pitch count, it really doesn't specify. But I guess we'll find out. We're at 101 now for Brandon Morse as Josh Williams steps in. There is Alvarado over at first, getting his lead, tying run at the plate. Into the strike zone to Williams. And by the way, I mentioned that here they've got new technology in that we see the pitch count. So does the official. As it is fouled off, 0-2 on Williams. Attached to the scoreboard is a pitch count display. So we know exactly how many tosses are delivered in this particular case by Brandon Morse. Josh Williams, 0-2 count. He is 0 for 2 in the game. Fanned in the second, fanned in the fifth, trying to avoid the strikeout here in the seventh. Here's the 0-2 offering. Comes in too low. Well, that's 104, so if you have to stop when you get to 105 regardless, then this will do it. Swing and a miss. Out goes Williams. And here comes Coach to get Brandon Morse. The problem is it's not going to tell us anything because that was the end of the at-bat for Josh Williams. So we still don't know whether you would finish an at-bat or not. But we do know that 105 pitches ends the day for any pitcher, including in this particular case, Brandon Morse. So that'll do it for Morris with 2 gone and a base runner at first, Seth Alvarado. Somebody's got to come in for the Mid-County, Texas squad, and they hope pitch to one guy. We'll see who that one guy is when we return.
Sure, Wattrustology is about sharing our financial expertise and helping our clients succeed. But it's also about helping local families enjoy a more festive holiday season. making sure parents have the supplies they need, and giving local charities everything they can grab in 90 seconds. It's employees who have a passion for serving their neighbors and the communities they live in. When you see Washington Trust's crew in blue doing their thing, that's WaTrustology in action. See more at WaTrustology.com.
Kyler Bumstead is the new pitcher for Mid-County, Texas, getting his final warm-up tosses in. Here's the day for Brandon Morse. Not a bad one. You already know he threw 105 pitches, worked 6 2/3 of an inning, faced 27, struck out 10, walked 5, and gave up 5 hits. You know what the 105 pitch count does, though, is it doesn't necessarily make it impossible by any stretch, but it does make it difficult to get a complete game in. I mean, you look at Morse, and he only gave up 5 base hits. Did have the 5 walks, so there's 10 instances where you're throwing pitches that get you closer to that 105 mark. But you do see how it's going to be somewhat difficult to get complete games with that limitation at 105. Of course, the limitation is there for a reason. It's just to make sure that these guys don't burn their arms out. So I don't have any fault at all with the limitation. Swing and a miss. Dax Lindgren has walked and struck out. 1-2 pitch. It's on the corner, and Bumstead will register the 11th Mid-County, Texas strikeout. So Morris had a total of 10. Bumstead comes in, faces one, fans him. It goes final. It's a 4-2 win. It belongs to Mid-County, Texas. 5 hits, 2 errors, 5 left on for Moses Lake. 3 hits, 2 errors, 5 left on for Mid-County, Texas. A couple of runs in the third for Moses Lake, 1 in the first, and 3 in the sixth for Mid-County, Texas. And this one will go final. It is a 4-2 win for the team out of Texas. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We got a YouTube channel too if you want to subscribe to that. Thanks you for the shout outs. A reminder, opening ceremony is coming up. We will be back at 8 o'clock when Ephrata takes on the Midwest Plains champion, all here on JockJive.com. I'm Robert Williamson for producer James Crenshaw and the camera crew provided by iFiber. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at 8.
All teams in the ballpark. At about, you see the clock saying 6:13.